Good morning. Well, it's morning right now while I'm recording this, but maybe it's good afternoon, good evening, or in Truman, just good night. My name is Hannah, and you are tuning in with me for another Second Shift Family Library, where we share with you stories that inspire care, kindness, and curiosity for the next generation of helpers. Today, we've got a special book for you. I'm very excited about this one. This book is called Welcome Home by Aimee Reed and Rashin Kheiriyeh. Kheiriyeh, yeah, Rashin. I hope I said that correctly. I love your book, so I hope I'm getting it right. Welcome Home is all about what it means to belong, to feel loved, to feel welcome, to feel safe. There it is. Colorful cover, bad lighting. There we go. So, this is a great book for ages 3 to 7. And it's a tender and beautifully illustrated story about a family preparing for a new baby. And it uses these soothing words and vibrant art, celebrates all the ways that a home is built on love, not just walls and rooms, but the feelings that fill them. So, let's get into it. This is a family getting ready to meet a new baby. Welcome new baby into the home. As a doula and childbirth educator, I have worked with families welcoming babies and working through the transition to family expansion for several years now. So this is something that we're always talking about is how do we help older siblings work on preparing for new baby. And this is a great book for that. So throughout the book, you see the family and they are painting walls. They're planting new flowers. They're creating cozy spaces. I know when I'm expecting, I'm always like getting my pumping corners set up and like all these new things, right? So like they're doing all kinds of things to help fill their house with warmth, fill their house with laughter, fill their houses with hope. This idea that, like, okay, baby's coming, and we need to make some changes to the environment and the fabric of our home to make space for baby. It's those tiny, simple acts too, And you do all the laundry, wash all the new clothes or all the hand-me-down clothes, and get them folded when you're practicing singing lullabies and dreaming about how this baby is going to change your family and how the love is about to grow and expand. This is a story about a family's anticipation and how, through the connection of family growth, that a home becomes complete. And that's really cool. I love how this story reminds us how care isn't just something we do when someone needs help, that care is how we prepare. Care is how we get ready to nurture. Care is how we make space for love and growth. Um, and I think there's something beautiful about the intentionality behind creating belonging. I feel like if you ask my students, I always say, like, you need to field of dreams that, like, if you build it, they will come. And this idea that care, that nurturance is something that you have to plan for, you have to set up. And there's no bigger time when we are setting up for care than when we are getting ready to welcome new baby. So this story about belonging, knowing that no matter who you are or where you come from, there's a place for you here. And we plan for that space and we lovingly put ourselves into the prep required to make space for someone to belong. It's a really important lesson, not just for kids these days, It's really scary when a new person is joining us, whether that be our family with a new baby or a new step parent or the blending of families, or, even in other places in the world, a new teammate, a new neighbor, a new coworker, a new boss, a manager. We need more of these stories about welcoming and the prep that goes into welcoming to remind us all that there's room. And we are ready to embrace and support the unique traits and skills that people are bringing to the table. And there's room for all of us there. It doesn't hurt us to help others. And our intentionality makes it easier to love and nurture and support and welcome others. When we win, others win. And when others win, we win too. This is a story that can open up big conversations about family, about inclusion. What makes a place feel like home? How can we make others feel welcome, both at school, in our neighborhood, in our hearts? These are questions that you absolutely should incorporate into your reading of this book with your families. It's just a gentle way to teach empathy, teach community, and starting right at home. In healthcare, we talk a lot about creating healing environments, spaces that help people feel seen, that help people feel cared for, that help people feel safe. And I think that's something that also is really captured in this book, a loving home, a welcoming community, and how important those bits of care can be, just as important as the medicine that we provide as people in helping professions. So, for kids growing up to be helpers, learning how to make people feel welcome is one of the most powerful skills of all. Would I read this one again? Are we checking it out from the library again? Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. This one feels like a soft blanket and a warm hug. And I can't wait to open it back up with Miles one more time before we drop it back off to our local library. If you have a favorite book about belonging or welcoming or helping others, drop it in the comments. Have you read this incredible book, Welcome Home? Let me know what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Maybe our next read and your next read will show up here on this channel. I always like to try something to add a little, try something together for your families. So after you read Welcome Home and you want to keep those lessons going, be asking your child what makes home feel special. Talk about welcome. Even the idea of creating little welcome signs, welcome cards, teaching them how to welcome people. I'm about to get new neighbors on both sides of my house. So, we are going to be talking about what it means to welcome people into our community, um, and finding those opportunities to teach your kids welcome, to teach your kids belonging, to teach them connection, the simple acts of hospitality. And sometimes even that's with our animals. Uh, just recently, one of our dogs has passed. It was a big surprise. We were not expecting it. She was young, and it's just a crazy accident. But one of the things that was really important for my kid in that was going back to our other dog and to our cat and to our chickens and connecting with each of them and just telling them, we love you. You're welcome here. This is our home is your home. And that's just that idea of making sure that he's making our other animals feel welcome on our little space has been a beautiful expression of his grief and has been a a beautiful activity for us. So find ways to encourage your kids to make the people and the animals around them feel welcome. Thanks so much for tuning in today and for diving into this story with me. I hope you enjoy it as much as we have here on the Second Shift Family Library. Want to learn more stories, want to see more of what we're reading and what we recommend to help you build the helper of the future. Uh, Hit that subscribe button and see us again next week for another story from our Second Shift Family Library.